Okay, let's dive right in. We're talking about something you've probably heard of, but maybe don't think about too much: hypertension. You know it as high blood pressure, but it also has this really serious nickname, and that's what we're going to unpack today. So, this is the big question, right? Why the silent killer? It sounds pretty dramatic, doesn't it? But trust me, by the end of this, you'll get exactly why that name is so fitting. And, more importantly, why paying attention to this now, even if you feel perfectly healthy, is one of the smartest things you can do for the person you're going to be in 10, 20, or 30 years. All right, to really get to the bottom of this, we've got to start with the absolute fundamentals. I mean, what even is blood pressure? What are we measuring? Let's break it down real simple. Honestly, it's a pretty simple concept when you think about it. Just picture your arteries as a network of flexible pipes. Every single time your heart beats, it's pushing blood through that network. Blood pressure is literally just the measurement of that force. How hard is the blood pushing against the walls of those pipes? That's it.
Now, you always see two numbers in a reading, right? A top one and a bottom one. Well, the top number, that's your systolic pressure. That's the peak force, right when your heart is squeezing and pumping blood out. The bottom number is the diastolic pressure. That's the lower pressure in your arteries when your heart is relaxed, just chilling between beats.
And this is the number you always hear about: 120/80. This is pretty much the gold standard for a normal, healthy blood pressure. It's a really important number to have in the back of your mind because it's the baseline for everything else we're about to talk about. Okay, so we know what it is. Now, let's get back to our main question. If it's just about pressure, where does the silent part come from? Well, this is where things get really deceptive and kind of scary. And here it is. This is the absolute crux of the problem. Unlike a fever or a sprained ankle, high blood pressure gives you zero warning signs in the beginning. You can walk around for years with elevated blood pressure and feel completely 100% normal. This is the silent part. There are no bells, no whistles, no alarms going off. You just feel fine. So while you're on the outside, going about your day, feeling great, a really damaging process is starting on the inside. Your arteries might start to get a little narrower, a little less flexible. That forces your heart to pump harder, with more force, just to keep the blood flowing. That constant extra pressure starts to wear down the delicate lining of your arteries. It's this quiet, invisible cycle of damage that just builds and builds over time.
And this brings us to something that I really want to emphasize, especially for anyone listening who's in their 20s or 30s. Please do not tune this out thinking it's an old person's problem. It is not. The damage from hypertension is a long, slow game, and the choices you make today are quite literally setting the stage for your health decades from now.
Yeah, that internal damage we just talked about, it doesn't cause a catastrophe overnight. It's a slow burn. The best analogy is thinking about water slowly wearing away a rock. For years, it looks like nothing is happening at all, and then one day, there's a crack. It's the exact same idea here. The damage is building quietly for years, maybe even decades before a crisis finally hits. So, what does that crisis look like? Well, here's the first major risk. All those years of high pressure can weaken an artery in your brain so much that it finally bursts. Or it can cause a clot to form that blocks blood flow. Either way, that's a stroke. It's one of the most direct and life-altering consequences. And it doesn't stop there. Your kidneys, they're basically these amazing, super intricate filters made of millions of tiny blood vessels. Constant high pressure just hammers those delicate filters, day in and day out, slowly destroying their ability to clean your blood. Over a long enough timeline, this leads to permanent kidney damage, and sometimes even total failure. And of course, the heart itself. The engine that's been working overtime for decades. Forcing it to pump against all that resistance causes the heart muscle to get thick and weak. Plus, those damaged arteries are way more likely to get clogged up, which can cut off blood flow to the heart muscle itself. The result? A heart attack. And this is the killer part of the name. Okay, I know that all sounds incredibly grim, and it is. The risks are no joke. But here's the pivot. Here's the good news. While the consequences are serious, the power to prevent all this is absolutely in your hands. High blood pressure is highly, highly manageable. So how do you do it? Let's get practical. Let's talk about the action plan. We're going to lay out 4 really clear, really powerful things you can start doing today to get control of your blood pressure and, look out for that future version of you. Here they are, and they might look basic, but don't let that fool you. Their impact is massive. Cutting back on salt helps your body better manage fluids, which eases the pressure. Getting regular exercise makes your heart stronger, so it doesn't have to work as hard. Finding healthy ways to deal with stress, huge one, prevents those hormonal spikes that jack up your blood pressure. And keeping a healthy weight just reduces the total workload on your entire system. These 4 things, they are your best defense. So we end on this thought. Because it's silent, high blood pressure is just so easy to ignore. It's easy to put off, especially when you're young and you feel fine. but the science couldn't be clearer. The small, consistent choices you make every single day are either building a foundation of resilience or they're contributing to that slow, silent damage. So the only real question left is, which one are you building for your future self?